second question that we're going to ask you is, when did you write Matric the first time? Well, that's an important question because there's two things to consider. The first thing is, if you wrote Matric before 2008, you did a different qualification. You see, Matric is a qualification. It's a 3-year qualification, grade 10, 11 and 12, and it's called the National Senior Certificate. If you did it before 2008, it's called the Senior Certificate. So it's actually two different types of qualifications. And so if you were to have done the Senior Certificate before 2008, which would make you fairly old relative to the type of students we usually get, but if you've done the Senior Certificate and you do a National Senior Certificate now, because there are two different certificates, you might not be able to put them on the same certificate or to combine them. There is a way, it's a bit technically more complex than that, but you also have the option of doing the amended Senior Certificate. Now the amended Senior Certificate, in another video we'll explain that a bit more, but it's basically a Matric certificate for those people that did their Matric before 2008, although anyone can qualify if they're older than 21. If you haven't, if you did your Matric after 2008, then there's no problem. But there's a second thing to consider, is if you've done your Matric less than 5 years ago, you can, if you choose, use your school-based assessment. That's like the tests and the projects and things that you did throughout the year. You could use the marks that you obtained for those during the time you did it the first time. You could use those marks again this year. It makes it a slight bit more affordable, because then we don't have to conduct those assessments. But point is, you could use your previous year's SBA mark and only write the final exam. Now, we don't recommend that, because obviously throughout the year you want to assess yourself, you want to have some sort of motivation to keep up to date. But if you've done your Matric more than 5 years ago, between 2008 and 5 years before the date you're watching this video, then you will have to redo your SBA. It has a limited lifetime, and the lifetime only expands to 5 years. There is talk of having the lifetime of your school-based assessment extend forever, but I don't think at the time of this video that has been decided yet. Nevertheless, that's the next question we ask. When did you do your Matric the first time? If you did it before 2008, you have to do the amended Senior Certificate, or there's some more complex processes to go through if you rewrite through the National Senior Certificate. If you did it after 2008, you have the option of redoing your SBA or using your existing SBA if it's not older than 5 years. So hopefully that answers some of your questions as well.